Suppose there's an IVF lab that's on fire, and in the building there's one 5-year-old girl and 10 frozen embryos. You can only save one. Which do you save? I think I'd save the 5-year-old. What? If you really believed embryos are valuable human beings, you would save the embryos. You chose the 5-year-old because you don't really think embryos are valuable human beings. Interesting. Suppose instead of a 5-year-old and 10 embryos, it was a 5-year-old and 10 99-year-olds. Who do you save? That's a ridiculous scenario. It's okay. You can tell me. Who do you save? I'd probably save the 5-year-old. So you don't think 99-year-olds are valuable human beings? They're valuable human beings, but the odds of them living much longer are pretty low. The 5-year-old has her whole life ahead of her. So there are multiple factors that go into who you would save beyond just whether they are valuable human beings. But by my logic, you should want to save the embryos more because they have even more life ahead of them than the 5-year-old. I mean, maybe. Frozen embryos have a lot of uncertainty. They aren't all thawed, they don't all survive being thawed, they don't all implant. The 5-year-old, absent being on fire, is extremely likely to be just fine. So one factor could be whether they're valuable human beings, and another could be how much life they have left to live, and another could be the likelihood of survival. Right. Change the scenario again. You've got a burning building with 2 5-year-olds, your daughter and a stranger. Who do you save? I would save my daughter. What if it were your daughter versus 2 other 5-year-olds? Still my daughter. What if it were your daughter versus 5 infant babies? Look, it's fine if you don't have an obvious, confident answer to every one of these hypotheticals. The Burning IVF Lab is a spin-off of a well-known series of thought experiments called the Trolley Problem, and the whole point of the Trolley Problem is that who we decide to save in different situations is often uncertain and complicated and involves a lot of different factors. Trying to reduce all of that to some sort of straightforward gotcha just doesn't really work, I guess. This doesn't have a lot to do with abortion anyway. The vast majority of abortions in the United States are performed on healthy fetuses carried by healthy women with no medical emergency involved. They aren't triage cases where you must sacrifice the life of the fetus to save the life of the woman. They're almost always cases where, absent abortion, both lives will be just fine. Abortion is not sacrificing a bunch of embryos in order to save a 5-year-old in a burning IVF lab. Abortion is not wanting to be responsible for the embryos, so you set the IVF lab on fire.